Hello, welcome back to my channel. Because April is National Poetry Month, I'm going to be continuing with some fairly short videos reciting poems, which I know by heart. And if you have a microscopic attention span and you only care about the actual recitation, I will leave a timestamp in the description box below so you can only listen to me reciting the actual poem. Now, Shakespeare's 29th sonnet, which I'll be reciting today, inspired the title of this book. I believe it was the fourth book I published, and The Lark Arose from Sullen Earth. I chose a Shakespearean sonnet to inspire the title because the previous book telling the story, In Jacob Flew the Fiend Away, came from Sonnet 145, which I recited recently in another video if you want to check that out. It's not too old yet. And so anyway, I do have a future video planned. I'm going to be talking about this book in more depth, but more like relevant for this. Fairly late in the book, Jacob is reading Shakespeare's sonnets to his wife Recital when she's in labor with their first child. It's a whole, big major plot point because they discover unhappily that, giving birth at home with a midwife isn't the custom in America anymore like it still is in the Netherlands. And so they're, wondering like, oh, will Richel's radical doctor, break, hospital protocol and do a home delivery, or can they, go to the hospital and do things as naturally as possible without being subject to twilight sleep and other things that were unfortunately part of the birthing protocol in hospitals of the era, or maybe, something else will happen in the meantime. But anyway, like reading this sonnet to her, gives them a lot of hope, and they really recognize themselves in the story of the sonnet. And I am wearing this shirt today with the, coat of arms of London. This was one of the shirts found in my paternal grandpap's drawers after he passed away in August 2005. He had never worn them, but my aunt had bought him these shirts, and my grandma said, like, you can have them. Your grandpap would, want you to have them. He would be happy if you wore them, but just don't ever let your aunt see you wearing them because she's going to be, really mad and angry and stuff. So, I've never let her see me wearing these shirts. And so this is the sonnet. When, in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes, I all alone beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me like to one more rich in hope, featured like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope, with what I most enjoy contented least, yet in these thoughts myself almost despising, haply I think on thee, and then my state, like to the lark at break of day arising, from sullen earth, sings hymn as at heaven's gate. For thy sweet love remembered such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings. So thank you very much for listening. I will be doing hopefully a few more poetry recitations throughout the month if I can, get all the lines perfect. I hope to do Boris Leonidovich Pasternak's heartbreaking poem Nobel Prize. I do know a fair amount of it by heart, but I've never actually recited it or done all the lines in order before, and I'll possibly be doing a few more recitations from the Divine Comedy with things I know from heart here and there. Oh, and by the way, maybe I'll do a future video about this. There was just a miraculous discovery. A nun discovered some of Dante's original manuscripts from the 1280s and 1290s. Obviously not his magnum opus, just, some things he was copying out, but like a lot of experts and such have said, this is probably definitely his writing. It looks like, eyewitnesses in the Middle Ages said his writing looks like. So that's really, really cool. Hopefully someday, God willing, I will actually get to see that in person. So thank you very much for listening. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing and hit the notifications bell in case you haven't. I would hate to think any of my subscribers aren't getting notifications of my videos, after they, like my content enough to subscribe. And also please, consider commenting and sharing. I really am looking forward to building virtual friendships with my subscribers and, just building my channel and getting a greater community of people. So again, thank you very much for listening, and see you again very soon. Thanks. Bye.